So we thought it would be a good idea to visit a place where it's windy, cold, and everything looks photoshopped. A place where glaciers sit next to volcanoes, where waterfalls fall sideways because of the wind, and where the land is still being created. After just over 24 hours of travel time between 2 flights and layovers and absolutely no sleep, we made it to Iceland.
Of an average every 4 years, so it's extremely active. So like it's nothing new.
The first thing on the itinerary for the week is Blue Lagoon, and I'm willing to bet that you've heard of it.
Well, just an explosive morning in Iceland as a volcano erupted in the southwest part of the country.
The total length of the fissure measures about 3.9 kilometers.
This time threatening Iceland's most famous tourist attraction, the Blue Lagoon hot spring.
Fortunately, there were no fatalities, and Blue Lagoon was spared from the eruptions. The cool part is that our tour guide told us that the main reason the place is still here today is because of the lava rock wall, which gets up to 60 feet tall in some places. Looking at aerial views from the eruption, you can tell where the lava flowed and how close it got to the spa. And as it turns out, the only thing that was lost from the lava fields was the road and the parking lot. The nearby power plant is the reason for the spa's existence. The superheated mineral-rich water is pumped from deep underground to spin turbines to produce both electricity and hot water to the surrounding communities. Over time, the silica-rich wastewater from the plant clogged up the porous lava fields, slowly forming the lagoons you see today. Even though it's labeled as wastewater from the plant, it's completely safe to swim in. All of the minerals and silica that I mentioned earlier is actually really soothing for your skin. So this is something that we look forward to after a long day of traveling. The following day we took a tour of Reykjavik. We started off just outside of town. This area was settled around 1000 AD and initially started out as a farm. The current buildings on the property were constructed in the 18th and 19th century. It later became the presidential residence in 1941, and even to this day, the only signs of security was the presence of one cop car. The President of Iceland plays a largely ceremonial role in government. Their primary authority is the ability to refuse signing legislation into law, as well as formally appoint key government officials, like Prime Minister, who holds a majority of the political power in Iceland. Standing at 244 feet tall is Reykjavik's main church. I'll put the name on the screen, because I definitely can't pronounce it. Construction began in 1945 and wasn't completed until 1986. Inside stands a massive pipe organ, towering 15 meters high with over 5,000 pipes. Unfortunately, it wasn't being played during our visit. The remainder of the tour took us down to the historic district and by the harbor to see some birds. Later that day, we set out to explore one of Iceland's hidden underground wonders, a lava tunnel. Formed nearly 5,000 years ago, these tunnels were created by rivers of lava. the surface cooled and hardened, while molten rock continued flowing beneath it. As the lava slowly drained away, it left behind a massive hollow passage, stretching nearly 4,400 feet into the earth. Today is New Year's Eve, and tonight we're meeting up with my little brother Chase and his wife Katie, who just so happened to be in Iceland at the same time as us. And we were told over and over again that Icelanders take this holiday very seriously. And the main event? Fireworks. And I have to say, I've never seen anything like it. It completely dwarfs any 4th of July fireworks I've ever seen back at home.
I've been chasing happy endings, holding out for new beginnings, tracing pages from the memories. This nostalgia, never ending. I'm gonna set her free. My mind's there, but when it's gone, I'm gonna set her free.
By the end of the show, we all agreed. We may never witness another fireworks show like this again. Nothing has even come close. But the night wasn't over yet. Since it was Chase and Katie's last night in Iceland, we had one more thing we wanted to do. Find the northern lights. Even though we left town, the smoke and haze from the fireworks made it harder to see. Faint, barely visible to the naked eye, but still there, dancing quietly above us. The following day, we set out for Iceland's famous Golden Circle, excited to finally experience the raw power of the Icelandic nature. Our first stop today is Thingvellir National Park, a place where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates slowly pull apart, scarring the land before your eyes. It's also home to the largest natural lake in Iceland. But this place holds more than just geological significance. In the year 930 AD, Iceland's first parliament was established right here, making this the nation's original judicial center for nearly 900 years until 1798, where under Danish rule, parliament was dissolved, only to be re-established later in 1845 in Reykjavik, where it still stands to this day. Forgot to mention that this is one of the many Game of Thrones filming locations in Iceland, but we're not going to nerd out about that. Our next stop is one of the things that I've been looking forward to for this trip, lunch at the tomato greenhouse. With over 10,000 tomato plants located within their greenhouse, this place can produce 1 to 2 tons of tomatoes in just a day, making them the largest tomato producer in the country. And even with the sub-zero freezing temperatures Iceland experiences, the temperatures in the greenhouse stay constant in the mid-80s, thanks to the small geothermal power plant located nearby, making this greenhouse carbon neutral. And I have to say, the soup and bread, very good. After lunch, we headed out to visit Geyser. Yes, Iceland has a geyser called Geyser, or better known as Great Geyser. While the Great Geyser isn't the oldest in the world, it's considered the first ever documented in European records. For centuries, it was believed to be the only geyser on Earth, until Old Faithful was discovered in Yellowstone in the 19th century. At its peak, Great Geyser was capable of blasting water nearly 550 feet into the air, but today, it sits mostly dormant, the result of natural shifting from earthquakes. And surprisingly, soap. For years, people threw soap into the geysers to reduce surface tension and force eruptions. It worked, but ultimately contributed to its decline. The last recorded eruption was in 2016. Today, the real star of the area is Stroker. Every 5 to 10 minutes, it erupts, launching boiling water nearly 100 feet into the air. Stroker first became active after a major earthquake in 1789, but later declined as well, and was repeatedly interfered with by people throwing soap and rocks into the vent. Eventually, another earthquake sealed the flow, leaving it dormant until 1963, when it was carefully drilled and reactivated. It's safe to say that now, throwing anything into the geyser will earn you a pretty serious fine. Now, with one last stop ahead, we continue on to Golden Falls, or as the Icelanders like to call it, Gullfoss. Our final day in Iceland brings us the farthest we've been from Reykjavik yet this trip. Today we will see many iconic spots Iceland is known for. And to top things off tonight, we are hoping to get one last chance to see the Northern Lights. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let us soak in these views. This otherworldly place has exceeded all expectations, and I now fully understand the meaning behind the land of fire and ice. Hopefully one day we will come back and experience more of what this place has to offer. Looking back, we wouldn't have changed a thing about the whole trip. We met so many awesome people within our tour group. And of course we can't forget about the Kickstarters of the group. It was a blast traveling with this group of people. And we couldn't have ended the trip off on a better note. The Northern Lights did not disappoint.